What is up, boys, and welcome back to another video. Today we have an amazing video and probably one of the most important videos I've ever put out. This video is going to be going over one of my favorite trading strategies, and I actually trade this strategy live for you guys. The strategy that we're using in today's video is going to be called Orb. This is the opening range breakout. What you're going to be doing is taking the first three 5-minute candles, marking out the high and low of those candles, and then trading off of those levels. Now, I do that in today's video so you guys can get a real live example of how we do this. I was also able to win this trade, so make sure you guys do stay until the end and see how much I actually made on this trade. Lastly, we are working on turning a $2,500 portfolio into over $10,000. Now, with winning this trade, we are actually getting pretty close to our first milestone, which is $5,000. We've already made around 50% on this account, so we are looking absolutely amazing. Now, one last thing before we do jump into this video, the strategy that I am using in today's video, I was able to code into a algorithmic bot. This bot sends out automated alerts to our premium Discord every single day. And we have just switched this bot over to alert to our free chat. So that means you guys can get access to this bot and this trading strategy for free today. Make sure you guys click on the link in the description, as well as drop a like on this video and subscribe while you're down there. Now, I do want to present this opportunity to you guys because we have over a 71.4% win rate with this bot and around a 76% win rate with this strategy. So if you're able to overlook the bot and understand the strategy, you should have around a 75% win rate on these plays. And I'll show you, these are no singles. We're hitting fucking home runs. First things first, and this is very important because this trading strategy will not work without this one key factor. Now, that key factor being, get yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. One, this is really going to help. And two, you do not want to be trading without caffeine this early in the morning. Now, let's go ahead and jump onto the chart and talk about how this strategy actually works. What you're first going to want to do is mark out your pre-market highs and lows. You're going to want to obviously do this during pre-market and before the market actually opens, so you might have to get here a few minutes early. Now, after I do go ahead and establish that, I turn off my extended hour trading. And then I go ahead and draw out some of my gaps right here. So you're going to go ahead and draw out some of your gaps, draw out some of your targets to the upside and to the downside. You want to be very, very aware of all of these possibilities. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out all of the possibilities that I see for possible rejections off of main support, main resistance levels, everything in between there. So now that we have roughly done that, we are pretty much done and ready for the day. We know exactly where our pre-market highs are, and these really line up with our prior resistance right here. So we could see a nice little bounce off there. We could also see a bounce if we do come down to this level where we have 3 touch points, and we could see some good support come in. Now we could also go ahead and target either one of these gaps. So this is why I like to plan this out, because now you see if the stock, if we're moving up on QQQ and we're looking bullish, now we can go ahead and target up to this top gap, maybe get the fill up there. If we're looking bearish, we have targets to the downside, filling this gap to the downside, and so on and so forth. You also now have your targets for where you're going to enter and exit from these trades with all of these support and resistance lines that you've already drawn out before the market is even open. Okay, now market has just opened here. We are going to wait for the first 3 5-minute candles. Now I'm going to come back after these 3 5-minute candles are over. We're going to go ahead and draw a high of those candles and a low of those candles. And then we're going to go ahead and work and trade off of those, which I will show you guys in just a minute. All right, so we have gotten our first 5-minute candles, and what we are going to do here is we're going to mark out the high and low of this candle, and then we're going to wait for a strong break and close of the candle. So what that means is we're going to wait for the candle to close. If we are to break below one of these lines or above one of these lines, it does not matter until the candle closes through or above those lines. Once that does happen, we're going to take the correlating call or put in that direction. So if we break down, we're going to take a put. If we break up, we're going to take a call. I'll show you exactly what this means once we do get this break. I'm going to go ahead and wait because we did get a pretty big opening range right here. So we might trade in this for a little bit. You do not trade during this time because that is designated as chop. You do not want to trade as chop because you're just going to get eaten up by theta. But I will be back once we do see an opportunity. As you guys can see here, we broke the opening range to the downside. That means that I'm currently looking at puts. Like I said, I am not going to be taking these until we close this candle. What I'm actually going to do is switch to the 3-minute time frame, and then we're going to look for a retest of either pre-market low or of the orb breakout. Now that we have gotten a few more opening candles after we broke through this range, as you guys can see, this is on the 3-minute time frame now. So we broke this range, we broke it pretty heavily, and then we wicked down a little bit. So I want to make sure that if we're going to come back and retest this, either I'm going to get a better entry or I'm going to pass this trade up because of the way that this looks. If we are going to flush down and then reclaim our levels, I do not want to be in that trade at all. But if we are going to come back up and retrace down, then definitely that would be a good area for me to get an entry. Now, we are about to take this trade, so get your popcorn ready because this is an absolute banger. But I do want to let you guys know that I am a little bit all over the place with this trade here because I'm trying to watch the trade, take the trade, alert the trade, and film this video for you guys. So it does get a little bit hectic. I'm not doing a great job at showing my position, but stay until the end and I will show my full position and the profit that we brought in. Now, I've just entered our trade. We went ahead and got an entry right around here. We're going to be targeting back down to the downside right here. I do not want to let this trade go super, super long, but we are currently up $100 on 20 contracts at a QQQ 619 put. Currently up around $80 right now. We are looking very, very good. We're already up $180 right now. Oh my gosh, 240. We are moving. All right, now I'm going to continue to watch this. We're going to look to get a trim right here. We're up 340 now, 400. Okay, boys, I'm going to show you guys the screen here because we are up a pretty killer amount right here. If I could. Okay, here is the screen. We've already taken a trim on 10 contracts, but we are currently up a little bit over $300 right now. So here is the contract. 430, 420. Yep. All right, I'm going to be taking another trim here at 430. We're going to trim off 5 more contracts. Boom. Okay, boys, we'll look at what we locked in, but as you guys can see, this has been a great strategy. I'm sorry, I'm trying to kind of measure both things here. We're still up $220 on 5 contracts here. Oh my gosh, we are absolutely cooking. Guys, I do not like to take these long at all, but we are up 30% already, as you can see right here, up 28%, 23% as we have fallen back, and you guys can see this candle's wicked up, but we were up around 30% at one point, so looking amazing. I'm going to still go ahead and just take another trim here. We only have 2 contracts left in here. Started with 20, we have 18 left. We've already locked in all this great profit and we're still up 15%. I'm not going to let this trade go red to green on any of these contracts. I do not care if I miss out on more profit. I want to make sure that I'm getting any profit at all. That is all I care about. Okay, so like I said, I'm not looking to hold this trade for too long. We're still up around 20% for about $58 in gain. As you guys can see, if we do continue to run down, we will continue to hold. But for now, I'm just going to continue to watch this trade and see what we can get. Now, this candle is getting bought up, so I'm going to go ahead and sell the 2 contracts that we have left. We have now sold those 2 contracts, and we are out, boys. So let's go ahead and take a look at this position and see exactly how we did on this orb breakout put. Now, this was an absolutely amazing trade. That was a lot going on. I sent out an alert. I was watching the alert that I sent out. I was also executing the alert that I sent out, and then I was also filming a YouTube video. So that was a lot to handle. But in the end of it, we were able to buy these QQQ 619 puts for 11/12 expiration, today's expiration. Now, we were able to buy 20 contracts at an average price of $1.26. So that means our buy-in was around $2,500. Now, we were able to sell 10 contracts at $1.53, 5 contracts at $1.64, 3 contracts at $1.47, and then our final 2 contracts at $1.30. Now, this means that we made profit on all 20 of those contracts. That was absolutely amazing. We also made $521 on that trade for about 26% in total. I do plan to break this down and show you guys exactly what this trade looks like when we do go ahead and save our option data. Now, guys, taking a look at how I actually track this data, it's very, very simple. Now, I just write down the call or put that we took. So we took a QQQ 619 put, the amount of contracts we took. So we took 20 contracts at an average price of $1.26. Now, I was able to execute this trim very, very perfectly. What I look to do is trim half of my contracts, so 10 of the 20. Then I want to trim another half of the remaining contracts, so 5 of the 10. And then another half of those contracts, and so on and so forth. The last 2 are runners. We didn't really let those go. We kind of just took those pretty quick. So we were able to trim out of this position exceptionally well. And you guys can see what we have done in the past. We're up 34.96% on our portfolio, up $850. And we are up a little bit more today as we did bring in $521 and 26% in total gains. So this looks really, really good. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like after you do finish a full week of option trading. Now, here is what one of these trackers looks like when you are done completely. Now, as you guys can see, once again, we have the call or put that we took. We have the profit that we made. We have the trims that we took. And then right here, I like to grade the plays that we took. So you guys can see, a C minus right here. I didn't do something correctly. I remember this trade. I actually did not take a trim when I had the best opportunity. Also, we have a D plus. This was a really bad trade on my part. It's going to happen, but the quicker you identify it, the quicker you can overcome it and stop it from happening again. Now, also, I have a C on this one. Now, this play right here, I only made $19.26. I still made money, which I'm very, very happy about. But once again, this was not a play that I should have been in. I remember this play not following the orb exactly how I would have liked it to, and I still took the trade. And that's something that I want to not do in the future. Now, this is exactly how this should look. You have, once again, your call, contracts, profit, or loss, and then you grade your trades with your trims. Now, I didn't finish out my trims right here. I took a small position. That's why we had a small win. And then right here, we were able to trim all the way out in one go. But this is what this should look like. And as you guys can see, this led to around $850 in profit in just about a week of option trading off of a $2,500 account. Now, that was an insanely fun video. I had so much fun not only making that video, but also making $520 live in front of you guys. Now, we do this every single day. We also have our BuzzBot, which we did take this trade based off of. The BuzzBot alerts exactly what we just did with a few other key rules. But this is going to be in our free chat from now on, so please make sure you guys do check that out. You guys have access to it for free. The link is going to be in the description of this video. Join up on that Discord. Come check it out. Come have a great time. As you guys can see, we are absolutely killing the markets. Thank you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Drop a follow and watch one of these videos.